Previously on Alien Earth 616, the Dark Ages.
Given Harley's condition, we need to get her to a facility. The sample that you were able to recover, this egg, you're saying it's pulsating, it's still alive. There's a platoon of Badoon racing up the road behind you. You were looking to take a reprieve within the Walworth compound. You feel cold steel on your cheek as the barrel of a rifle. You hear Dr. Charles behind you. Step aside, please. Don't say anything further.
I would like to relinquish control to Mackenzie.
Okay.
John, snap out of it, slap him across the face, and then I'm going to close the door.
The facility came under attack by an individual called the Black Queen and a group of mercenaries. As she lands, these chains drop out of her hands out of nowhere, but the chains are formed of pink psionic energy. Snapshot is just crumpled to the floor, eyes rolled back, head hung back. We now return to the compound. We have Mackenzie, Lionheart, and Pioneer still standing, albeit in different states at this point. Lieutenant Roberts was shot and heavily injured. Private Michaels is fine. And a handful of civilians that you met here are, as far as you're aware, still okay. Dr. Charles, to your knowledge, is still within the office area where you rescued him from the alien. The Black Queen is unconscious, defeated by Lionheart. What do you do?
Can I just ask, is Christopher still possessed by George Bloody Mackenzie?
Well, where we left off last time, Mackenzie was still very much in the driving seat. So yes, I think he's still around.
We need to start triaging these people. I need all the help I can get. Lionheart, can you check to see if Dr. Charles is still in the command centre?
Can do.
And if he is, can you put him through in the medical centre? I'll get to him in a minute. I'm going to need to look at him with the ultrasound just to make sure. If you could pick up the specimen as well, that would be really helpful. I'm going to grab whatever medical equipment there is, and I'm going to checking the soldiers for a pulse. Verona, I don't know if you're done, but we could really use an extra pair of hands, and I think I would quite like to talk to Christopher, if that's all right.
George will kind of give you a bit of a snarl at that and glance towards the door where Dr. Daniel Charles is, because he's aware of what happened. As far as he's concerned, he came to with a gun to his head, but he understands the situation and with a bit of reluctance will start to shift to allow Christopher to come to there.
Just by way of a reminder, as that transition happens, you also Mortemouth stagger out of the infirmary. Her surgery not long completed, presumably by Dr. Charles. She is gripping her still blood-stained midriff. She kind of exclaimed, "What the fuck is going on?" when she came out, and as you kind of exchanged this, she has kind of steadied herself on the wall of the infirmary and is kind of watching over this. She says, "What is all this? Where are we?"
Could somebody fill Miss Mouth in? I've really got to go. And I'm going to actually walk past her into the infirmary.
Christopher would, but he's just came to because the last perception he had was a gun to his head before everything shifts. So he's just kind of stood outside, just looking just as confused at the chaos around him.
Pioneer, have you stepped the armour at the moment?
I got out the Pioneer armour to apply some pressure to Lieutenant Roberts, so I'm out of the armour just now.
She is barely conscious as you have applied this pressure. Private Michaels comes up alongside you, says, I can take over.
Yeah.
Doctor. Lieutenant Roberts grabs your hand before you step away. We don't have long. The Badoon will still be coming, and we don't have the defences. Do whatever you need to do and move off. And then she kind of lapses back into unconsciousness.
Christopher, could you possibly check to see if the 2 civilians are still in the barracks? And if they are, could you start packing up anything useful that we might need? Right now, I just need to know how many of the soldiers are still alive and if there's anyone we can probably save here.
Right. Yes. Is the container still safe? The doctor had ill intentions.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's breach containment and it's in the command center. It looked dead. I pulled it off Dr. Charles.
Pulled it off, Dr. Charles?
Yeah, he tried to steal the egg and it attached itself to him. I've got a theory that this is some kind of pupal stage. They may have laid an egg. While I'm explaining this to you, there are people that could be...
I understand.
You begin to triage the soldiers. Christopher, as you go into the compound, you have to kind of step over the catatonic body of Snapshot. She is just sort of lying, staring up at the gradually illuminating sky as dawn is starting to approach. As you sort of step over her, but she is not responsive. Lionheart looks pretty messed up, and there's this strange woman lying crumpled against one of the crates within the compound.
Christopher looks so lost. This is awful thing to walk into and wake up into. He doesn't know what's going on with Snapshot. He doesn't know what's going on with Lionheart, who this person is. But Dr. Appleby's gave him clear instructions. He's got the reins here. So I'm going to do what I'm told, but I will, before I go any further, at the very least put Snapshot to one side so they're not getting trod on.
You prop her up against the barracks. Stepping inside the barracks themselves, you see the familiar sight of Emily Taylor and Theo Evans, the 2 civilians that were hauled up in here. They are taking cover beneath beds. You see Emily kind of looks out. Is it safe?
No, it's not safe. You should get ready to move.
All right. And you see they kind of start gathering what few possessions they have and moving towards the door. Lionheart, what are you doing while this is transpiring?
I'd been asked by Dr. Appleby to go and get the other doctor and the specimen.
Okay, so you step back into the command bunker and you see Dr. Charles is kind of slumped up against the terminal, barely conscious. There is this strange, almost arachnid-like alien sort of curled up on the floor next to him, and the still opened egg discarded on the floor. Easy enough for you to scoop up the alien entity. It does not seem to be moving or showing any signs of life. You could probably pick Dr. Charles up as well with some difficulty.
Yeah, I will do that. We know the specimen definitely came from the egg, right?
You've been told that. I don't believe you saw it firsthand, but that's what you've been led to believe.
Cool. I'll drag them out.
Okay. You drag them back out into the forecourt of the compound.
Feeling very, very uncomfortable.
Christopher, as you are seeing to the civilians, you see Private Michaels kind of gestures you over.
I'll respond. I'll come over.
I'm given to understand from your introduction you are a relations expert?
That's my official title, although I've taken on extra responsibilities of late, yes.
Yeah, he's still like holding Lieutenant Roberts' abdomen. You can see blood on his hands. We need to get her to a doctor. Dr. Charles is obviously not in any shape to treat her, and from what I understand, your friend isn't a medical doctor. There's a place nearby. The officers don't really know about it, but a few of the boys did. Local setup. There's a guy down there. He's like a magic healer.
Of course. Yeah, Christopher kind of gives that exasperated laugh somewhere between thank God and oh for God's sake. Okay, what distance are we talking? Can it be covered on foot?
Yeah, it's probably a little hike up Woolworth Road, but it's away from the Badoon, so it'll take us in the right direction at the very least. It's the Elephant and Castle underground station.
Elephant and Castle underground station, right, okay. Okay, here's what we need to do. We need to find some gurneys, something we can transport these injured. We have our own as well. I'll go relate to Lionheart and the doctor.
Pioneer, you make your way over to the infirmary, stepping inside. There's a lot of equipment in here. Most of it is relatively basic, although you do clock the ultrasound machine that you kind of had your eye on since you arrived here. Harley Davis steps in behind you. She says, "Listen, son, I need to know what's going on. I'm in a lot of pain. I'm barely holding consciousness. At the very least, give me a fucking clue."
We found you at the hospital. We found a full-sized alien looking for the egg that you had. Took you back to the safe house, but you were bleeding heavily. You were going to die. So we brought you here to the garrison at Woolworth Road. Brought the egg as well. I was hoping to use this ultrasound machine to look inside it. Say, pointing at the machine.
Okay.
And then the doctor here, who seems to have saved your life, tried to steal the egg, and we got attacked by some mercenaries, one of whom was some kind of BDSM mistress or something. I'm not really sure. And we just had this horrific battle, and I think a lot of the soldiers here have been shot or dead. And it's probably our fault that happened. And I'm feeling pretty guilty about it, if I'm being honest. So that's why I want to try and see if any of them are still alive, because I don't want to leave here not knowing if I could have stopped some of these people dying.
She seems to calm down a little bit, and she sits down on the edge of one of the beds inside the infirmary. You're MI-13.
Yes, all been conscripted under the Peacetime Emergency Powers Act. Look, what do you know about these aliens?
We were sent into the ship, me and my team. It was chaos in there, difficult to see a lot, and what I did see I'm not sure I really want to remember, but there's something in there, something alive, big, dangerous. We saw these eggs, and we made to extract some things came down on us, the team. She kind of looks down at the ground, doesn't seem to be able to form the words. I barely got out alive. I was able to get over the threshold with the egg. I had another civilian in tow that I'd found inside the ship, unconscious. I managed to get to the hospital, got a message out to Wisdom, put the guy into one of the wards, and then tried to find medical supplies myself. Next thing I know, I was waking up in here.
And that you go to the hospital. He had something laid inside him. I'm concerned that Dr. Charles has had something laid inside him. After I check all these soldiers, I need to look inside him with the ultrasound machine. Could you get him ready so that I can do that as quick as possible? Because if he has had something laid inside him, it's going to get big, it's going to get very dangerous, it could possibly kill us all.
Could do much else, but I think I can manage that. The woman outside, one lying in that crate, she's called the Black Queen. She's an agent of the Hellfire Club. Those mercenaries, though, they're not Hellfire Club. They look like they're Black Hair.
The hell's black hair?
You're pretty new, so you're probably not up on this, but before MI-13 was established, its predecessor organisation was Black Hair. They were revealed partly by Wisdom to be corrupt from the top down. Most of them were removed like a cancer out of the government, but there have been rumours of remnants and a resurgence of their operatives. It wouldn't be the first time they'd thrown in with the Hellfire Club either. Neither of them are particularly benevolent organisations. She kind of stops herself. They're not good people.
While she's been saying all of this, I've been basically trying to pull out any gauze or bandages that I can find.
Okay, yep, you can gather up a good bit of material. You've got the ultrasound machine prepped ready for when you need it, and you can sort of make your way back out into the base and start having a look around and take stock. As you come out, you see Theo and Emily have moved out, and they're kind of trying to help as best they can. They look grossly out of their depth here, but they're sort of going around the bodies of both the mercenaries and the soldiers, trying to get a read on things. You see Lionheart has come back into the court with a unconscious Dr. Charles and the alien entity, and Private Michaels is still with Lieutenant Roberts. Go ahead and give me a vigilance roll. Do you have any kind of medical expertise?
Don't have any medical expertise. Most of my expertise is science.
Okay. So you're only really checking your triage in here. So this is, I would say, it would be routine, but given the time constraints, I'm going to pump it up to challenging. So it's going to be a target number of 11.
Oh, that is 11.
11 on the money. So moving your way through the camp, most of the soldiers have died, either instantly or in the very short aftermath of the combat. You know, a lot of bullet wounds, a lot of severe injuries. Unfortunately, even if you had got them in time, it's very unlikely you would have been able to save them. A handful of the mercenaries, mainly those that were dispatched by you or the team, are still breathing, as is the Black Queen, but they are unconscious at the moment. But from your quick triage, there is nobody here who is on your side of the combat that you will be able to save in time.
I'll go back over to Lieutenant Roberts and just try and bandage up her gunshot wound so that we can move her and then help her try and get her onto the gurney.
Okay. Private Michaels will help with that.
And then I'll head back into the room and see if I can use the ultrasound to look inside Dr. Charles.
Okay, you're able to bring the ultrasound over to Dr. Charles, turn it on, and conduct a scan. Go ahead and give me a target number 9 vigilance check.
Well, that's another 11.
11 pass. Yeah, you are able to conduct an ultra scan. There is nothing inside him that does not look like it should be there. You're no expert on biology, but you know the fundamentals. And running this ultrasound across his throat, his chest, his stomach, his abdomen, there's nothing there that looks abnormal to you.
Is he breathing? Okay.
He is breathing, yes. His neck has been badly bruised, and there's like scratches along the back of his head and his face, but he is, aside from some minor injuries and probably some trauma, he's okay.
Okay. Is everybody else out in the courtyard?
Yep. So Lionheart is out in the courtyard, having brought Dr. Charles out. Christopher is along with the civilians, having kind of helped just check if there are any soldiers still breathing or anything that you've missed. Motormouth is with you, with Dr. Charles, and Private Michaels is keeping Lieutenant Roberts comfortable and getting her onto the gurney ready to move.
I can't find anything inside Dr. Charles that's not supposed to be there. I think we should definitely take the specimen with us. Is the ultrasound machine portable?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Take that as well. Is there anything else here that we need to grab that we don't want the Badoon to have? Or, I don't know, I'm not a war person.
Not in my opinion.
I wouldn't be able to tell you. I do have somewhere we can head, though, after talking to these soldiers.
This soldier specifically.
Yes.
All the other soldiers are gone.
Crystal just kind of look at that. Apparently there's a mystical healer in one of the nearby stations. Elephant and Castle. I'll look towards the individual in question.
Yes.
Okay.
So are we taking all the survivors from this?
Well, the mercenaries just seem like they're unconscious, so...
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about
Yeah, I think so.
I think this area is completely compromised. They can't stay here.
What about Snapshot?
we should probably take her with us. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to carry her.
No, I mean, is she okay? Like, is she breathing?
She's unresponsive. She is breathing.
What happened to her?
The Black Queen, I think, some sort of psychic attack or magic.
Doing something I don't really know what.
Okay, right. I'm gonna head to the armory. I'm gonna grab a rifle because I'm still
You
able-bodied.
grab the cooler when you're there.
Not taking me to the cooler.
Yes, Doctor.
God knows we need the cooler.
Yeah, I will head back to I imagine the armory door that's still wide open because it's not been closed.
It is, yeah.
I will grab that cooler and I will grab a rifle and some ammunition.
Easy done. Okay, you grab the rifle, you grab the cooler, you make your way back out. You see Lieutenant Roberts has been kind of put on the same gurney you used to bring Harley Davis here. Private Michaels is manning the gurney with Emily and Theo on either side. Emily says, what about these people? Are we just leaving them out in the open?
We'll call it in.
We're also going to need to take Dr. Charles. I don't have another gurney for him. And we need to take Snapshot. Okay, I've got an idea. I'm going to get back into the Pioneer armor. And I'm going to try and pick up Snapshot with one arm. Pick up Dr. Charles with the other.
You have Mighty in the Pioneer armor?
I do, yes.
You're fine then. You can pick up two people. Yep, you pick up each of them in the Pioneer armor with Lieutenant Roberts on the gurney and Motormouth kind of limping alongside it. You have everyone together to move out. With your little group, you can make your way out of Walworth compound, and the plan is to head up Walworth Road and make your way to the Elephant and Castle underground station. There is now a little bit of light being sent down Walworth Road, glinting off the buildings and illuminating your route ahead of you. The streets, as they have been for the past few weeks, are unsettlingly absent any life, although mercifully you don't see any signs of any Badoon movement, at least at the moment, although you know that the Badoon platoon that was driven back was in pursuit of you. There is probably going to come a point sooner rather than later where they will probably follow you after you. It doesn't take you too long, even with your procession of civilians and injured personnel, to make your way to the Elephant and Castle terminus. It is a red stone building with a corridor leading into the underground station. A set of elevators will bring you down into the station proper. The station itself is not particularly well illuminated within, although there does seem to be some form of emergency lighting, at least, illuminating the interior as you come down the escalator. It will be rather difficult to maneuver the gurneys down, but between everyone you've got there, you'll probably be able to carry Lieutenant Roberts and the gurney down. The elevators are obviously not functional at the moment, nor are the escalators, but you make your way down into the station itself, although it appears, at least at the moment, completely devoid of any life. Private Michael says, "This is where I heard they are. I think they're down on the platform.
Okay,
You need to go further down."
you do it.
Is there any light and power down here?
Just the emergency power from the looks of it. There is some ambient light, but it is not significant. Enough to kind of see where you're going, but not enough to kind of truly illuminate the place. You can see another set of escalators leading down, presumably to the actual underground tracks where the trains would run. It's got that unsettling ambience of the underground, where the wind kind of whistles through and down. So as you're kind of moving through, the wind kind of whips around you as you maneuver down onto the platform proper. And I'm going to jump away from you guys for a moment. Ryan, would you like to describe the person that is down inside the Elephant and Castle underground platform?
He's a young man, possibly late 20s, early 30s. It's quite difficult to say. His hair is quite unkempt and kept around his shoulders. He's seen better days. He's got a pair of dark spectacles, like very small pince-nez, like over the bridge of his nose, and he's mostly looking through them as he is staring into a blaringly bright screen of a computer terminal down here that's seemingly the only connection to the outside at the moment. He's muttering to himself, adjusts his green hoodie that's like torn and coated with blood, his own, possibly those of others, as he grabs a makeshift clipboard, putting it under his arm, straightens up and goes, "Right, off to see the patients," as he turns out of the small office he's in to make his way out to do his rounds.
You step out of the small office that you're in. I'd like you to go ahead and give me a vigilance check, please. Target number is 11.
I roll a 15.
You can hear voices kind of echoing above, coming from the terminal up above the actual underground platform. Look to be across the tracks from where you currently are. You know the patients are currently holed up in the generator room on the other side of this platform.
Okay.
But these voices, there are several of them, at least 2 or 3. And you can hear, sounds like someone's pushing like a trolley or something similar.
Okay.
You would probably recognize the sound of a gurney, actually, given your background.
Yeah, quite possibly.
You also hear this,
This guy has the door open and he's hearing a cavalcade of noise. He's got these voices. He's got the hydraulics of a machine and he's got a gurney. And he's like, "Okay, what?" He pokes his head out into the station and immediately runs to one of the standing pillars that would be between him and the platform, or him and the rails, and sort of like leans up against it and looks around, pulling his sleeves up.
Okay. You will see this collection making their way down the escalators on the other side of the platform. Some of them look military. You see a couple of military uniforms, especially one of the figures on the gurney that's being carried. You also see a man with a large sword across his back, a rather bookish looking man, a doctor, and another military looking woman being carried by this large suit of armor that you were hearing, and a couple of people who look to be civilians, some injured, some not, bringing up the rear of this unusual procession down the escalator.
Okay, that's far enough. It's far enough.
You all hear that voice echoing through the wind of the subway.
Do your business.
I heard there was some form of magical healer here.
Magicals. Yeah, you know what? It probably counts. And he leans a bit further out from behind the platform. You see this guy in torn jeans, duct tape around different parts of the leg to keep them closed. He's clearly somebody who's been scavenging, but his hands are remarkably clean.
As a vagrant.
I heard that.
From your vantage point, you can see on your side of the station, Perry, there are your 2 most recent patients. Priya and Gaz are kind of looking out of the room. They're staying back, keeping in cover, but the 2 of them look out at you, waiting to see if you've given them any kind of signal on what to do, but they are listening to this exchange.
Look, I don't want any trouble. We've got injured over here. Do you need medical assistance?
We do.
Right. As a rule of thumb, weapons make me jumpy. Can we agree not to draw anything?
Well, you're not up to any good, yeah?
Not up to any good. We're up to good.
Wait, yeah. That. Carry on.
Right. You know what? No alien is dumb enough to fall for that sort of wordplay. Right, over you come.
Is the track safe?
I mean, we're about 15 minutes before the next. Of course it's safe. There's no trains running.
Let's steer clear of the third rail.
Yep, you see that there's like a plank across the third rail at certain points, so you can beeline across from where you guys are. I'm Perry Celsus. Was a nurse, now physician in residence of Elephant and Castle. Welcome, wipe your feet. It's okay. And he called to the two in the medical room. Just, I'll be with you in a minute. All right, who are the patients? Who am I dealing with?
As Christopher pulls himself up on the platform, he'll just kind of point to the gurneys and the unconscious people on the other side.
Right, yeah, that makes sense. He'll hop down and make his way over to the patients.
So you see there's a woman on the gurney. She has been gut shot. She is unconscious. There's another woman who has been placed down. Seems to have a degree of consciousness, but appears to be catatonic. There is another man who you'll need to kind of examine to understand, but he's clearly got some lacerations and some bruising. And then looking over them is a woman who's recently had abdominal surgery and is sort of barely standing.
Yeah, why don't you, and he gestures over to the bench behind Private Michael's next to the escalator. Just take a seat. I'll be with you in a minute.
She slumps down.
And he pulls out a baggie and pulls out a pair of fresh surgical gloves and begins to examine the lieutenant.
Okay.
How long? What happened? And I would like to make a logic check to assess her state.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
I make these with edge because I'm a medical professional. So I have a 613, so that's a fantastic success.
Yeah, so that one actually counts as a 6, so you got a 16 total.
Nice.
Yeah, she has lost a lot of blood. In an ideal world, you would probably want to give her a blood transfusion, although you don't really have that available to you, so you're probably going to want to get some water in her as soon as you can and treat the bullet wound, remove the bullet, clean the area and stitch her up.
Oh boy, you have brought me a puzzle today, haven't you? Okay. And he will scurry back across the rails, get sort of like a backpack that's like a go bag, and he'll scurry back across and begin to try and tend to her wounds.
Okay, go ahead and give me another logic check.
I have a 15.
Okay, the difficulty was 13. It was a difficult check, so that is a success. So yeah, you were able to remove the bullet, clean the wound, stitch it up. You have got a kind of makeshift saline drip as well that you can give her to kind of get some fluids back in her body. Time is going to be the decider for this woman.
Okay, that's one down. She just needs to rest and have time to heal. Now, whilst I'm working on your friends, what happened to all these people?
Well, I imagine it's not escaped you'll notice that there's been an alien invasion.
Yes, that's what shunted me out of residency. It's been a hard go. I was at St. Thomas's when the impact threw the hospital into chaos.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Don't be sorry, I'm getting the most experience I have as if I was still in residency.
We've been to Thomas's. It's a nightmare.
Hmm.
Well, this man over here, pointing at Dr. Charles, he came into contact with a form of alien life that attached itself to his face, also tubed down his windpipe and wrapped its tail around his neck. And I'll pull out the cooler, open it, show you what the thing looked like.
Oh, right. Well, that's
Yeah.
that's not Badoon, is it?
No, it's not. I don't know what it is, but it's not Badoon. So
I'm thinking trauma in Cape. How long was it on him?
very briefly, he's been unconscious ever since. I was able to remove it, but it's a very complicated life form. This thing came out of an egg. I believe it to be some sort of transitionary stage of the creature's development.
Oh, good. I'll give Dr. Charles a once over.
Okay, yeah, another logic check.
15.
Okay, a quick once over of him. There is some minor injuries here. It looks like, for all intents and purposes, it looks like a severe case of fainting. Obviously lost a lot of oxygen when this thing's wrapped around his neck. He does appear to slowly be regaining consciousness, even as you're kind of examining him. And during the examination, he does sort of come to quite disorientated. He's clearly been unconscious for a lot longer than someone typically would be when they faint. So he does seem a little disorientated. Not a great deal you could really do for him other than clean the wounds. He will heal in time from the minor injuries. He doesn't seem to have any permanent damage to his esophagus or anything like that.
Okay, maybe some painkillers for that throat, but otherwise he's going to be fine. And he'll come over to Snapshot and pull a light. Can't see any injuries. And he'll start basically follow the light, make sure she's responsive. In this one?
One more logic check.
16. Fantastic success.
She is not at all responsive. The only thing you've seen that this is similar to is someone who is catatonic, perhaps in a coma. It's a very unusual state. She's still breathing. She's still conscious. The lights are on, but there's nobody home. She's just staring into the mid-distance. You put the light in front of her eyes and it does not prompt any kind of response. Food and water will become an issue without the proper facilities.
Mm-hmm.
For the moment, she is stable, albeit in a very bad way mentally.
Perry sort of like raises his hands and say, unfortunately, I'm not a specialist in this sort of trauma, but we can make sure she's comfy. Okay, I think I've put in a fair graph today, and he'll head over to Mortarmouth and do his best to sort of help her patch up. Nothing I can do in terms of like mechanical hit points that I can give her back, but I can at least make it easier for her to move.
Yeah, I mean, your diagnosis of this is very easy. You know, she should not be up and around. Like, in her condition, she should be resting. She's in no fit state to be wandering around.
All right, 3 cases of bed rest and 1 sleepyhead. I will bill you. I guess I'm now private. I can do that.
This is not available in the NHS.
Well, which NHS office am I reporting to right now?
This is more of a blitz spirit kind of situation, I'm afraid.
Yeah, fair.
As this exchange is going on, those of you on the other side of the platform, Mackenzie and Lionheart, you see 2 figures making their way out of one of the adjoining rooms. It looks to be a man, probably in his mid-50s. He's wearing a tattered hoodie, West Ham shirt underneath it, and a mid-30s Indian woman coming up sort of behind him. The guy in the West Ham t-shirt says, all right, I'm Gaz, Priya. We're just, we were patients for Perry's. And they kind of slink forward.
Gaz, Priya, hi, I'm Christopher. This is Lionheart. Forgive me, what on earth are you still doing in the city?
Lionheart. Her name's Lionheart.
Yeah.
We got separated from the evacuation. We'd taken up refuge in one of the nearby buildings, and then there was a Badoon attack, and we got injured and made our way to the nurse over there, patched us up.
Is there any form of intuition roll I can make on that, Tom, to see if that's adding up?
You can make a vigilance check, yeah.
Vigilance, yeah, I'd love to.
I would say this is difficulty 9.
Nope, I buy it.
I buy it. Yeah, he seems pretty straight shooter. Doesn't seem to be any deception from what you can tell. Dr. Charles is now conscious and is kind of looking around, perhaps blinking a little more than usual, but is very sheepish in his demeanour as he kind of pulls himself, not so much to his feet, but up to his knees so he can sit up a little bit. You see he glances down at Lieutenant Roberts and Snapshot, and then up at Pioneer.
Dr. Charles, good to see that you're with us.
Yes, I am. Kind of rubs his temples and massages his neck. I'm sorry. I didn't have a choice.
Why didn't you have a choice?
There are people that I am beholden to. They wanted the sample.
I'd like to know who those people are.
You see, he kind of looks down at Lieutenant Roberts again, and there's very clearly guilt across his face. He's either putting on a hell of a show or not hiding it very well. There's an organisation called Black Air. They sponsored my medical career when they were still legitimate. I was beholden to their organisation. I didn't think anyone was going to get hurt. I was just to extract the sample and pass it off to their agents. I didn't know. Again, he looks at Lieutenant Roberts and Snapshot. I didn't know it was going to escalate.
No, it did.
Did they get the sample?
Oh, the sample got you. It was very, very dangerous, which is why I had it duct taped in a cool box and why I wanted to freeze it.
He visibly blanches when you say that it got him. Pioneer, give me an insight with a difficulty of 11.
15?
15 is great. You can tell he's holding something back when you mention that the sample got him.
I'd like to disengage from the Pioneer armor.
Okay.
I want to look him in the face. Dr. Charles, we're both scientists. This thing is essentially a horrific biological agent. I was able to get it off of you very, very quickly. According to the ultrasound, it doesn't seem like it's left anything behind. But I need all of the information I can possibly get about this creature, who wants it, what for, anything you have.
Okay, go ahead and give me an ego check. This will be challenging, so difficulty 11.
I'll spend the point of karma.
Okay.
11.
Perfect. He's reticent to say anything, and then eventually he kind of relents. I don't know a lot. I get my instructions from a woman. She's pretty senior within Black Air. She's called Michelle Skikluna. She told me yesterday to watch out for yourselves coming with this sample and to extract it so that they could take it back to their facility. But I heard her mention that they wanted to study it with the other sample.
Yeah, the sample, so they have another one.
I don't know if they have another one of those eggs or whatever that thing was, but they have something else. Black Air have a secret facility underneath Chapel Hall. I've only been to it once. It's staffed by predominantly scientists, although they do have a few agents there. It's a bit of a horror show. They have a lot of weird stuff. I wouldn't believe it if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes. But ever since the ship crash landed, they seem to have gone into overdrive.
Is there anything else that you haven't told me that's relevant to this?
I don't think so.
You know specifically where in Chapel Hall this facility is?
Yeah, it's beneath a local convenience store. It's a front. I can give you the address. And he pulls a dirty, slightly bloodied notepad out, kind of scribbles an address on it in Doctor's handwriting, tears it off and passes it to you.
Okay, thank you for this. And also thank you for saving Davis's life earlier on. You go sit over there with her. I need to talk to my colleague.
Okay. He goes and sits down next to Mortarmouth.
Kind of wave a piece of paper over at Mackenzie and Lionheart.
I see that you've got that bit of paper, and I see that Dr. Charles is up. I'll turn to these two civilians. Give us a moment. I'm going to head back over to the platform where you are, Dr. Appleby.
Yeah, I'll head over, yeah.
I'd like to pull them to one side and then give them the same piece of information that I just got.
Okay. Harry, go ahead and give me a vigilance check. See if you hear what's being said.
Yeah.
11. Okay. You're going to hear some snippets of this.
Okay.
Not everything.
It seems like this organisation, Black Air, were the ones that got Dr. Charles to steal it in the first place, given me a location for where they are, and they might have another sample. I think we need to tell Director Wisdom about this.
Yeah, we need to get confirmation of what he wanted to do.
Are you sure you can trust a word that comes out of Dr. Charles's mouth?
I don't know. I'm not a people person. I haven't noticed. If you think you have a better chance of debriefing them, please do. This is not my area of expertise, but if it is true and they have this other specimen, we could be looking at a biological contagion of this. Any chance of keeping this contained?
I think you're entirely right. We should report it to Wisdom. I'm going to try and put my personal biases aside.
You want me to go upstairs and try and call him?
You do that.
Okay, I'm going to go back into the Pioneer suit and then head back up the stairs and try and make contact.
I am going to go have a word with Dr. Charles, though.
I will not be here for whatever comes next.
Okay. You head back up above ground.
You do that. Christopher heads over towards Dr. Charles.
Christopher, you make your way over to Dr. Charles. He is sitting down sheepishly next to Mortarmouth, who is pretty much half asleep, snoring next to him.
I've lit a cigarette on my way over, just kind of smoking. It's been a long time since I had a cigarette.
Private Michaels points at the no smoking sign on the platform.
Just kind of one hand in my mouth. Give me a break. He's going to stand right in front of Dr. Charles and stand in front of him. Dr. Charles, nice seeing you.
He does not respond.
No good?
I'm sorry about that.
Don't worry about it. We can let that be all in the past. If we get through all of this, you won't be able to get a job in a corner shop, let alone work in your field.
Perry's just next to this conversation.
Perry, who's tending to Mortarmouth, is in the middle, point blank to this Noir conversation. He's going to go over to Emily and Theo just to give them a once-over, just make sure that they're doing okay as well.
Now, have you been telling the truth? Because if you haven't, my ghostly friend probably already has a disliking to you.
I told your friend the truth, yes.
I make a vigilance roll, Tom.
You can. Difficulty 11. He seems to be telling the truth.
Good.
Is it 12?
Good. I'm glad. You just sit tight, Dr. Charles.
He just, again, glances at you and then looks sheepishly at the ground.
It's rather petty, but I'm just going to kind of flick the end of the cigarette butt at his feet as I walk off.
And you wasted a perfectly good cigarette just for that diss.
You smoked that real fast.
Real fast. Real fast. It's a stressful situation.
He just watches you walk away. We'll move upstairs. Pioneer, you make the call to MI13. There is no pickup.
And I detect if there's interference, jamming.
The signal seems to be going through. It's connecting. Nobody's answering.
Bloody dial tone. It's stomp back down the stairs.
I'll move to one side so you can get there. Step out of the way of the escalator.
By this point, Gaz and Priya have joined you on the other side. You see they go into this small room on the end of the platform and come out holding a collection of sweets and crisps. Perry, says Priya, I think we should maybe share some of our rations. These people look pretty rough.
Okay, yes, I'm fine with that. You three seem to be in charge, and he points to like Mackenzie, Pioneer, and Lionheart. We're going to be running thin on the ground after you guys leave. If you could do us a solid, do you know of anywhere nearby that we get some supplies? Anywhere? Anything within the couple of streets radius I've already cleaned out,
Okay.
but anything that would be of use.
Before you answer that, can I get vigilance checks from everybody, please? Difficulty 13. Okay. Pioneer and Christopher. Perhaps because you're at the bottom of the escalator, while this conversation's going on, you hear very quick footsteps, multiple, coming from up the escalator.
Expecting guests?
I wasn't expecting you lot.
Well, I'm going to take position at the bottom of the steps by the escalator as it goes down into the platform.
I'm going to turn to the rest of the civilians and say, do you have somewhere you can take cover?
Generator room across the tracks, next to the stairs.
Please go there. Could somebody help my friend? Point the snapshot.
At that point, those of you at the bottom of the escalator, you see Badoon come racing over the top of the escalator. Half a dozen starting to make their way towards you. Can everyone roll initiative, please? Okay, I'm not going to put the NPCs on just for sake of ease. They're going to act at the end of the round. Cauldron, aka Perry, you're up first.
So I did get a fantastic success. Does that mean I get the surprise round as well?
You get a double turn, my friend, yeah. So you've seen two Badoon with more behind them coming over the top of the escalator at the back of the platform.
All right, I'm going to move to Snapshot, pick her up, and move her into the newsagents and shut the door for my first action. if that's
Okay.
Or for my first turn, if that's okay.
That is, yep. So that'll put you next to the newsagents. You kind of run in, drop Snapshot in with Priya and Gaz, and close the door.
Right, so from there, next turn, he's going to take a step forward. He'll look to the rest of you and go, don't tell anyone, as he reaches a hand and makes a sort of clenching motion as he casts Elemental Burst Toxin on one of the Badoon soldiers.
Okay, and how does this manifest? How does it affect them? What does it look like?
So there's no transmission of energy. He just seems to focus on somebody, and what we can see of the Badoon soldier, if the attack hits, is veins start to blacken.
Okay.
So I'd say 13 to hit.
Yep, that will hit.
Okay, that is for 7 points of damage.
7, and that is after the DR.
That is after the DR, because it's already calculated in, thankfully.
Okay, you see the front Badoon soldier as he kind of comes over the top of the escalator, kind of grabs at his neck and his chest, starts hissing this horrible noise, kind of loses his footing a little bit.
As they say, the dose makes the poison.
Lionheart.
I will move not quite to the bottom of the escalator, so I'm looking up, and I will haw a shot with my pistol. I'll have the claymore in one hand.
Okay, are you popping off a shot at the one that...
I'll go with the same one that Cauldron went for.
Okay.
That's not going to hit him, I would imagine.
That is a 6, that's not going to hit.
Yep, my work here is done.
The Lionheart classic. Pioneer.
Okay, walk up the escalator.
Okay.
And this isn't really how I saw my first meeting with extraterrestrial life. And I'm going to try and punch this guy or clobber him.
You going for a clobber?
So the Pioneer armor wrenches back with the fist, and in my heads-up display there's a little targeting reticule that pops up as I try and bring it in at this guy.
Going for a clobber. They... Oh, that's 3 6s. Very nice. Okay.
That is 20. That's only 8 damage to him after the deal.
Okay, still a hell of a bit of damage. Yeah, you land the Pioneer fist into his chest. He staggers back. He kind of lands onto the fist. He's still up at the moment, but certainly feels that. It is then the Badoon to go. Pioneer, as you've come up the escalator, you can see there's about half a dozen Badoon that seem to have come through here. They are wearing the light Badoon armor you saw in the initial Badoon you encountered back in the alleyway, and have the same sort of alien rifles in hand. They are all going to open fire. 3 of them are going to open fire on you, Pioneer, at the top. The other 3 are going to make their way down the escalator on the other side and open fire on those of you at the bottom. So we'll start with the shots on Pioneer first of all. Pioneer, what is your DR? 2. We are not going to roll those. There is a barrage of energy fire that bounces off the Pioneer armor suit. However, at the bottom, they open fire 1 on Lionheart, 1 on Mackenzie, and 1 on Cauldron. They're very considerate and share the love. 1 on Mackenzie. That's going to be a 6 to hit you, which is going to be a miss. 1 on Lionheart. 10. I'm guessing that is a miss.
That's a miss, yeah.
And 1 on Cauldron. 12 against your agility defense.
Got a 13.
13, so just a miss.
Yeah, just a miss, yeah.
Okay. So they come in, they're firing energy weapons all over the show, but they're just crazed and inaccurate. None of them land home, except against Pioneer, where they do nothing. Mackenzie struck Christopher.
Yeah, Christopher's gonna take a few steps backwards and kind of fall into this pillar, which will be to the right side of him. And as he does, he's just going to be shouting at everyone, cover your ears, because he's going to open fire with the assault rifle at the closest Badoon soldier to him.
Okay. 14 is a hit, 4 points of damage. However, that front one is already injured, so that will put him down. It is then Cauldron/Perry to go.
Okay, Perry is going to look surprised as the first soldier drops, and then he's going to refocus and do the same elemental burst on the next one in line. Again, you see this sort of pulse in his arm, and you see potentially his fingertips begin to darken as he focuses on this.
Okay.
15.
15 is a hit.
That's 5 points of damage.
Okay, that Badoon also looks to be struggling as your toxin gets into his lifeblood. Lionheart.
I will move over to the foot of the escalators and go for the same one that Cauldron just set, and I will switch to my Claymore this time.
Okay.
And I will go for a vicious attack. 13.
13 is a hit. That is 7 damage, which will bring that one down with a sweep of the Claymore Rain. Another one collapses. Okay, Pioneer.
Going to try and clobber this Badoon again. He raises his fist up and tries to swing it across the Badoon's face.
Okay.
Only a 12.
12 is good enough.
So that's going to be 8 damage.
Yeah, that well and truly puts that one down. As you clobber him, he kind of crumples down onto the top of the escalator, with the other 2 coming up behind him.
I'm going to back up a little bit to give them room to come forward.
Okay, absolutely. They will do just that. They come forward onto the escalator, kind of following you down it. Still opening fire at you, Pioneer, with reckless abandon to no effect. This one that's close to Lionheart and dangerously close to you, Pioneer, is going to dash between the 2 of you, kind of sliding onto the platform, and then spin around and shoot its weapon at you, Lionheart. So discharge of energy comes your way for a 13.
That's a hit.
It's a hit. Okay, that is going to be 7 damage to Lionheart. So there is 1 on the platform, 2 coming down the escalator towards Pioneer, and it is Mackenzie's action.
So Mackenzie sees this Badoon soldier sprint past Pioneer and Lionheart and open fire back on Lionheart. It's a bit close for comfort for getting the rifle shot in, so he's going to quickly draw his pistol and open fire at it.
Okay. 11 is a hit. Does 8 damage. Okay, still up, but that was a nasty wound from your pistol shot as you kind of wing it in the thigh. Cauldron/Perry.
Perry's going to hit the one that's hit the concourse because he's the biggest threat to everyone else. He's going to try do the elemental burst again.
Okay.
It's a 13.
Is it?
Okay, so this one, Cauldron runs up to the soldier, grabs him around the neck, and hits him with the burst for 8 damage.
Okay, as your hand touches his neck, it blackens and almost seems to rot your touch, and the Badoon collapses to the ground.
Takes the hand out, gives Mackenzie a blackened thumbs up.
Lionheart, are 2 coming down the escalator. Those are the only 2 that are still conscious.
Okay, I will move up past Pioneer if you'll let me.
Remember, you have to walk on the left-hand side of the escalator. Keep the right hand for...
What you could do that'd be really cool is you could run up the other side and then vault over.
Yeah, that's what kind of looking for it, and then flash at one on the way.
Go for it. 16 is definitely it. Okay, that is a nasty swing from Rain that leaves him heavily injured. He's still standing at the moment, but he's in a bad way. And it's Pioneer to go.
Okay, so Lionheart's leapt down in front of me.
Mhm.
I'm going to try the same thing but in reverse and less gracefully. Pioneer turns, realizes he's boxed in by the escalator, tries to bring his foot up to get over the top, and just shatters the side of the escalator as he moves onto the stairs.
Yep.
And then stomps up the stairs and goes to. Usually he's trying to get into the Badoon on the back, but accidentally elbows the Badoon to the front.
Okay.
Lionheart
I like it.
Oh,
for 13.
So that's a fantastic success. So as you actually elbow him, the might of the Pioneer armor sends him hurtling over the rail and sort of lands on the third track.
Oh, sorry!
On the track. So just, you see the Badoon soldier just...
Oh, I didn't mean to do that!
that's why we put the planks there.
Sorry! Oh,
The remaining Badoon soldier has seen that this has turned hideously against him and dashes back up the escalator. Is going to make a break back through the terminal above.